Hello and welcome. Chris from Missouri here, bringing another video about vintage baseball cards. In this video, I'm going to show you some cards, but I'm going to show you some cards while doing a video response for Shane Shoebox Legends. Now, Shane's a young collector, and if you haven't heard about his channel, well, it's your own fault because he does as many videos as anybody that I know of on YouTube. And he's one of those guys that some people have reached out to me over the course of the last 5 months. And when I ask them, who do you watch? That kind of stuff. They say, "Oh, Shane Shoebox Legends." He's always mentioned, and he's a young guy, and he collects everything from vintage baseball to modern day soccer. And so I'm going to do a video response, and he's doing a giveaway to celebrate 500 subscribers. But he better hurry up and give some stuff away because it's almost up to 600 subscribers. So he's doing really well, and he's go look at his channel, subscribe to it because I know you'll like it. But in his challenge, what he wanted us to do is do a video on how our collection has changed over the years. And he kind of hinted toward how, and I've seen some videos, how their collection has changed since YouTube and since they've been on YouTube and stuff. And I thought about it, and but I just wasn't going to do a video response because I thought I've only been on YouTube really for 5 months, and so my collection hasn't changed, and YouTube hasn't influenced me to change and do anything different than what I'm doing. But now that I'm sitting here in my card room and I put some thought into it, it's crazy. YouTube has influenced me a great deal in many ways, and I'm going to give you a couple of examples here before I show you some cards. One of them is this. Now, I'm not a bobblehead collector, or I wasn't a bobblehead collector, but I was given this. Let me show it again. From Josh and Jacob. They came to a card show and they gave me this, and they said, "Hey, I watch your YouTube channel. I know you're a bench collector, and we thought maybe you'd like this." And man, I liked it a lot. And so they know what I collect because I do videos. So some of my other friends and some other YouTubers know what I collect too. And so it helps me find stuff easier to trade for. I get a call saying, "Hey, are you still after this card or that card?" And that really has helped me out. And I'll make a phone call. I made a big purchase the other day, and I phoned a couple different people in the hobby and asked them, am I doing the right thing and stuff like that. And so I am glad, that's one way YouTube has changed me. Another way it's changed me is I was watching Mike Moynihan on one of his, 50 different shows that he does. And he was talking about protecting your cards. And I know there's people out there that don't like you to hear this called an investment, but you take care of your cards. And he was talking about insurance. And I thought about insurance before, and I actually had a rider on the house, but it was not even close to being enough to cover my cards and make me even close to being whole if something dramatic would happen to my collection. So I'm looking in to get insurance right now. So that's influenced me. The first thing that I thought about how YouTube influenced me is when I first started watching YouTube. And I've been watching for a long time, been watching for a great deal of time. But first time I clicked on, my wife told me about YouTube. I could find baseball card videos. I typed in vintage baseball cards. And the first thing that came up was Ray from Philly that I clicked on. And I clicked on that thing, and I was just watching his video and not thinking anything of it, and definitely wasn't going to be influenced by anything, but I was enjoying watching his shows. And then he breaks out this book right here, The 300 Great Baseball Cards of the 21st Century. And this is written by Mike Payne, and inside here is photographs of different cards and what Mike Payne thinks are the 300 influential cards of the 20th century. They're not the most valuable cards. And as I was watching Ray with his videos, I saw that he was enjoying having a good time with it. And then I thought to myself, I should buy that book and see what's out there. So I bought the book and I thumbed through it and I said, I have some of these cards. So I decided I'm going to start collecting these cards. And, so I would mark the cards with a little blue dot, little blue piece of tape if I got the card in my collection, and I had some of them, but maybe about 150 of them out of the 300, but I had a good portion of them. So it influenced me enough that by watching him do a video with Mike Moynihan about the 300 great cards of the 20th century, I started collecting that too. So I was influenced by them. They didn't make me watch them by any means, but I was influenced by them, and I started collecting that. And actually reached out to Mike, baseball collector, about it, and he encouraged me to start a channel, and which it took me over a year and a half after talking to Mike that I started a channel. And so that really, really has influenced me. Now I'm going to show you some cards right now, in doing this video response to Shane, and with no further ado, here you go. So this is part of the 300 great cards. Now I'm not going to just show cards of the 300 great cards. I'm going to show you other stuff as well. But this Bo Jackson was part of that, and this Kurt Bevacqua was a recent pickup that I have shown in one of my videos. But how in the world does Kurt Bevacqua and Mark Fidrych belong in the same category as this Lou Gehrig? Now, they're both in the 300 great cards, so they're both kind of find their own place in my collection together. So they're like married together with a card that's worth a great deal of money and a card that's not worth much money. For instance, this beautiful Kirk Gibson card. If you can see, I got a red tag on top of that card. And that means I can identify it when I'm looking at cards as part of my 300 great cards. But it belongs in the same category with this 300 great cards as this 52 Bowman Mickey Mantle. Now, if you see, there's a yellow and there's a red on the corner and a yellow. And the yellow, for you guys that haven't watched my video before, that's how I dictate. That's how I know that it was in the Miss Dufresne find. That's how I identify those cards. But those all go in the same collection. Now, I am a rookie Hall of Fame, post-war Hall of Fame collector, and that's because of YouTube. Now, I've collected them for a long time because I collected rookie cards. That was a big deal for me, was collecting rookie cards. But by watching Baseball Collector collect the post-war rookie Hall of Famers, I found out there was a PSA set registry of just the post-war. So on that I clicked on and got a list of them. And even though I had a lot of the cards, I didn't have all of them. And I learned who some of them were, like a card that I'm going to show you. I didn't even really know he was a Hall of Famer, let alone know that that he was a post-war rookie. So, if you can see, this is identified by 3 different, and I'll probably change this if I start collecting differently. But right now, that red is for the 300 great cards, the yellow is for the Dufresne collection, and the blue is identifying it as a post-war Hall of Fame card. And I'm going to do a video sometime of my post-war Hall of Fame cards because I have completed the set. And I probably would not have completed it had it not been for my collection changing. You can see same way with with Reggie Jackson's rookie card. I've had both of those for a long, long time. Now, the three of the last ones that I got was this Sandy Koufax rookie. And this one here is really tough. It's the Eddie Matthews rookie. Now, I would have probably put that in the 300 great cards of the 20th century because it's a tough card to get. And it's a tough card to get in very good shape. But the last one that I got, and this collection's going to be evolving because there's always going to be a new rookie Hall of Famer that's coming in now post-war. But this Hal Newhouser is a very tough card to get. It was because of YouTube that I found out about this card. It was because I found out about the PSA set registry. I find the list and I find the Hal Newhouser. But then I started learning about this card because it never, ever came up. Now, the second part of his video response is he wanted me to come up with a set that they don't make anymore that I wish would come back. And I'm not 100% sure they don't make these anymore, but the set that I really enjoyed as a kid, and looking back to my childhood days and the feeling I got when Mom would bring home a box of Hostess baseball cards. And if you look, it's got the stats on the back. It's just like a regular baseball card, but they came on backs of Hostess cupcakes and Twinkies and stuff. And what they did is they had them in panels of 3. And I remember creating a snack drawer at our house because she would bring home the box of Twinkies or cupcakes, and I would dump them out in this drawer, and I would take the box and do some operations on it. And this is what I came up with. So if they could bring any set back, I wish they could bring back this Hostess set, and so the kids today would have as much fun going after those as I did. Now listen, I've been on YouTube for 5 months, and I initially didn't think it influenced me to change my collection, but the way I collect. But after putting some thought into it because of Shane and this, I realized that my collection has changed a lot since I started YouTube, from insuring cards to protecting cards to storing cards to displaying cards. This community is great. Shane's just an awesome part of it. And remember, it's only a hobby. Collect what you like.